you know how to mix something.
I'm in James.
You're alright, mate. I've dealt with professional focus around some of
Oh yeah, that's all I feel. Half like that. I actually thought there'd be something very genuine. If someone said enough of the spectators.
Have fun, mate.
Oh damn it. Stuff it up his food.
Ben, how are you? Oh, I like staying over here. You can watch it better over here. At least half the game anyway.
As I said, I need to build you a little seat there or something.
I get caught though, commentating, people hear it on the... I used to get the kids going, kids at home and they're going, Dad, you know we can hear you. And I'm like, shit.
Watch the Essex.
Some of the players do, mate. Good day for it again. I suppose all this stuff
Yeah.
Yeah, see, we haven't had this field's fine. We don't get a lot of...
Oh no, on this.
They consider us a third rather than... Plus life. So, you know, like the seniors, it's...
What about...
So we get... Today, for example, followed around for 8 hours.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You need to shuffle that left, Drew. You should have enough cable.
My body will block most of the sun. Well, good afternoon and welcome to Lauderdale Oval for SFL football. It is at the top of the ladder. Lauderdale Bombers taking on the Kingborough Tigers here. A beautiful sunny day in Lauderdale. Perfect conditions for football. Looking forward to bringing this one to you. Will the Bombers keep going about their merry way, or can the Tigers produce an upset? They'll be eager to get 4 points to try and keep themselves in the finals hunt. Every 4 points vital for them. Lauderdale clear on top, looking to storm into September in pretty good form as we enter this game off the back of an interrupted period with lots of rep footy in recent weeks. I'm Andrew Cooling. Joining me to call the action here on the sidelines is Bo Downham. Very good afternoon to you, Bowie.
Afternoon, Drewy. Yeah, not bad conditions here at Lauderdale. A little bit of slight touch of breeze, but not much at all. Hopefully, we have a good game. I mean, Kingborough, not the ideal start to the day for them. Obviously, the reserve side not being able to field a team, so a bit more of a not training, but I guess more of a warm-up out on the ground for Lauderdale and both of these teams. And of course, game 150 for Lockie Clifford, a premiership player for Kingborough, and he's hopefully looking to get the win for him today. I mean, why not to do it for him? He's been such a brilliant player for them over the years, Drewy. So hopefully they can get the win for him. But Lauderdale looking really tough to beat.
Well, that certainly explains why it was much easier to find a car park today. I didn't think it was easier than the last time I came down here, Bo, but like a reserves game beforehand would explain that. We're just about ready to get underway. Looking forward to this one. will be the Bombers kicking to the right of your screen. And the Tigers to the left. Andrew Phillips in the ruck. He's going to take some real stopping in there today. A tough matchup. Tyler Carter, interestingly enough, lining up in the ruck rather than Brzezinskak straight off for the Tigers. So we'll see how he goes. But there is no bigger task for a ruckman than trying to get the better of Andrew Phillips.
I do like the matchup though. I mean, Tyler Carter's obviously he's not your first choice ruckman, but he is a bigger body who can wrestle with Andrew Phillips. I mean, the leap is probably going to be something you can see Carter. I would like him to move a little bit more inwards to stop that jump of Phillips and more a grappling match. But I'm interested to see how that goes.
So Lockie Godomski gone to the square to take the big job on Siggins in the other big matchup. So we're underway. Phillips immediately rises over the top and they'll charge forward here by Ratcliffe. Speared a short one. Found a marking target in Stixie Blackburn. Doesn't want to take the shot on, so just stabs the short little pass, and that's chopped off. The Tigers looking to rebound immediately. They've got an option in Watt over the top. Instead, we'll go further afield looking for Knighton. Spoiled away from him by Williams. Williams now receives the handball. Dancing through some traffic. McGuinness floats one inside the forward 50. Siggins looking to fly against two. Handball comes out. Siggins applying some pressure, wraps up Godomski and forces the stoppage.
Yeah, good tackle from Siggins. And the ball up. Lee Nichols, the umpire, took a tumble in that first centre bounce. Siggins, this one out of the ruck, edging closer to the forward goal square for Lauderdale. And another ball up, bottom of the pack is Rainbird with the helmet on. A couple of clubs for Rainbird. Siggins, nifty little tap on, just cut off though by the defence. Clifford with a clearing kick, but it might be coming back in by Tilly. Slipped over as he went to kick it, but a nice ball inside forward 50, just cut off though over the head of Shaw. And now Kingborough can try clear this one out. Tilly, a nice bit of acrobatic pressure there from the laid in. Another ball inside forward 50, right to the teeth of goal. Sutton's trying to come out to meet this one. Nice little pick up though from Gordon. And now they're going to hug the boundary line and try send them forward by way of Carter.
Strong mark for Tyler Carter. Head of Suki heads into the middle of the ground. That's a nice kick opening things up to Clifford. Gets things moving. Spreads the wide ball across to Brower. He'll go looking for Knighton. Just a bit too much on his kick though. And happy to see that one out of play is Williams. He tossed in as the Bombers go on the attack the Tigers go on the attack for the first time in this contest, having absorbed some early pressure. Phillips works his way to the front, had a swipe at it, didn't really collect the football. Clifford trying to burrow his way through, but unable to escape. Brzezinskak back into the ruck now. Phillips wins it down, just eluded Gordon. Handball flicked up towards McGuinness. Chain some handballs out of defence here, the Bombers. A little spear up towards Treasure, kicked away in the direction of Watt, squaring ball inside the forward 50. Williams caught with it. The umpire says, I'll have it.
Ball up inside forward 50 now for the Tigers. Phillips ripped his way out of the ruck and then just slapped it on that boot with a high up and under ball towards the outer side. This came from behind though from Dolliver, but Clifford with a ball that just trickles towards Harnwell. Dinky little kick up over the top and a nice mark taken from Lovell. The perfect start for the Tigers. Kieran Lovell looking to make the most of his opportunity.
And we know what a quality player Kieran Lovell is. The best midfielder in the competition, and he can hit the scoreboard. Big chance early on. If they're going to cause the upset today, these are the type of chances that we're looking to take. Not an easy kick, however.
So hugged up along the boundary line for a pretty good start for the Tigers. Lovell splits through the middle, and a very good start from the Tigers. Kieran Lovell gets them underway. It was a nice mark over the top, and just that nice little kick from Harnwell did it ever so slightly. Joy, was a nifty little kick from Harnwell. Good awareness.
Yeah, just some forward pressure from the Tigers. A couple of repeat entries, and Kieran Lovell getting on the scoreboard early. We'll In the start, they were seeking in this one, trying to cause the boil over against the Red Hot Bombers. Kieran Lovell probably key to those hopes today. And here's a game breaker. Interesting to see him spending some time forward early on. Phillips looking to mount an immediate response. Won it down to Rainbird. Rainbird thumps the kick inside the forward 50. Trying to bust through a tackle there was Griggs. And all locked in. Siggins just takes it out of the ruck himself, launches a high ball that floats down towards the goals. Spilled away. Pressure being applied, Lovell lurking outside. Brereton just unable to escape. Siggins wins it down decisively. Umpire's whistle blows. It's going to go way of the Bombers, and Rainbird's been given a free kick. So an opportunity on the angle here for Rainbird to cancel out the Lovell opener.
Yeah, missed that free kick.
A hold perhaps. Rainbird will go from the angle here. Square things up. It's across the face. Didn't catch that at all right. And misses the lock.
Yeah, not a great kick. So Griggs will bring this one in. This turf looks a little bit slippery as he chips it to Lovell. Didn't play in that state game last week, did Kieran Lovell. Had the week off. He'll switch it across the face of goal and end up in the hands of Harry Burgess. Burgess kicked down the line in search now for Watt. Didn't quite reel it in. The hand pass over the top though is pretty good. Runners on the outside now for Kingborough. Dancing around out of it with Stevenson. Hand pass inboard will go further afield, but Suki's back. Oh, didn't quite sit for him. Pressure displayed nicely from Knighton, but again, Lauderdale with the numbers. Is this one right in front of us in the commentary position here. And Rainbird fists this one over. We nearly got that one there, Drew. We nearly got a nice little disposal as we see a ball up right in front of us here. You've got a good angle of it on the AFL Tas live stream. Phillips and Bresner back in the ruck. Again, it's a big task. Phillips, oh, that's silver service down now to Shaw. A nice little kick towards half forward. Coming out to meet it is Hooker. Dolliver ever so dangerous. Danced around one. Flicked the hand pass back inboard to Hooker. Further afield back to Dolliver. Just got upended as he tried to get rid of it. Ball will be balled up inside forward 50. Lauderdale on the attack.
The Tigers defence doing well to hold out under some pressure there. Hooker and Dolliver look to get something going. Siggins out of the ruck contest, out towards the boundary line. Now the shot to the teeth of goal, but able to repel there. The Tigers, it's going to come right back at them though. Pressure applied, eventually looked out across there to Brower, who'll head wide. Let's see for Knighton here, trying to gather. He does under pressure though, fumbled it forward. As the umpire see that, it's going to give a free kick for holding the ball the way of the Bombers. So they'll halt that attack just as it's developing. Belchambers looking to execute the switch. Short ball to Shaw. Shaw fires one into the middle of the ground and finds Hooker. Hooker guides it up to half forward. Finds his brother who sweeps a nice handball over the top. Belchambers had burst forward from full back. He's kicked though, no good. It's intercepted by Godomski.
So Godomski now into the centre of the ground, finds Ashland. Nice little Lincoln hand pass off to Clifford. Ball into the middle of the ground now for the Tigers as they go right towards half forward. Carter bobbled up and then got rid of the tackle, but ran himself into a lot of danger. Had an eternity to get rid of it, but flicked the hand pass back inboard to Livingston. Still towards half forward. Streaming forward was Harnwell. Slapping it on the boot there was Brower. Right towards the teeth of goal, but it bobbles out now to Harnwell who gets it. And Kingborough with 2 early goals. There was mayhem there for a little bit, Drewy, but they made it work eventually, did the Tigers, and Harnwell gets his first of the day, and they're out to a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, good start. They're taking their chances here, the Tigers. Lauderdale, they've had several inside 50s, but haven't been able doesn't make much of them as of yet. Tigers, by contrast, pretty efficient when they get it up there, causing some problems for this Bombers defence. A great start, exactly the kind of start that the visitors needed if they were going to surprise the ladder leaders. Well, they know they're in a game here. They've got some work to do. Back to the middle where Phillips has been winning the hitouts pretty decisively. Clearance work's been good from the Bombers. Just the 450 work a little bit lacking at the moment. Ball slapped on. Phillips charging out after it. Was beaten to by Brower. Clifford tumbles one towards half forward. It's through the hands of McGuinness. Opportunity now for Clifford. He couldn't gather cleanly, however. And now it's locked there. Nice work. Williams. Phillips and Zinskiak. Size advantage certainly with Phillips. He uses that to win it down beautifully to Hooker. Hooker curls one round the corner. Spiked away by Brereton. That was clever. Now, into traffic. Worked the handballs nicely. Hooker worked it back to Shaw. Shaw spies Sutton in space out of the corner of his eye, and that's where he heads. And Sutton, half back, will execute the switch.
Used the link of hand passes brilliantly there, did Lauderdale. Got themselves out of a bit of danger as he signed down the line from Windsor to this outer side. Sizing up the options are the Bombers. So they're going to go further afield and long down the line, looking for a fly from Tilly. Bursts out now into a little bit of space, but upended from Brower. It was a nice tackle. He was swift onto it, and Brower gets rewarded. Looks like some of the play will be through this outer side today. Kick down the line. Might have been a hold. I might have heard that from the crowd. Clifford, hand pass inboard. Phillips just cuts that one off. Dancing around the running Gazelles. They go forward again now. Lauderdale, stabbing kick forward. Didn't quite work out. The hand pass from Stevenson. McGuinness, out now to Tilly. Right, tied into the pocket. Godomski with a nice tackle. Boundary line nearly beats all comers. McGuinness, check side from the pocket. Just across the face of goal and misses everything. So, scrappy start to this game, Drury, but the Tigers look up for the fight.
Yeah, again, the Bombers getting the ball forward, but not generating anything from it. Second shot across the face there. That was a kick laced with risk, but it found Brower, half back. Zinskiak wants it in his direction. He went there, but caught the kick horribly wrong. Allowed in Weber. Takes an easy intercept. Crowded forward 50 ahead of him though, so he'll probably be forced to kick to a contest. He is. Siggins in that pack, no one can bring it down. School's boundary side. Blackburn bending it back towards the teeth of goal. And happy to see it through is Kieran Lovell. So behind there for the Bombers, but Tigers defence continuing pretty solid at the moment. Lovell just got enough on it to take it away from Phillips, and now they'll look to spring a counter-attack through the middle of the ground. Henry scooped it over the top to Carter, tries to get rid of Williams and does so. Turns onto his trusty left foot. There was nothing ahead of him though, so just has to pitch it in space. Hope that Ashland can make it work. He does. Comes back to the football, squares it up inside the forward 50. Plenty of Bombers back here, should be able to deal with it. It was a 3-on-1. Pretty tough task there for Stevenson. They should be able to find a target coming out of defensive 50, and they will, as they chip it wide. The ball will be marked on the wing here by Woodward.
Woodward. Another one of these young players coming through. I think they've got a nice bit of mix between youth and experience as Woodward goes down the line. Phillips the target, but Tilly with the fly from the side. As they look to go forward, pointing for a longer option. Runs around and then sets towards centre half forward where he finds Siggins on the lead. Good kick. Tilly wasn't even supposed to be playing today. He's a very valuable laid in. I must say I was a bit surprised when he wasn't listed, but of course he'll get the game. And Siggins looking to line up for Lauderdale's first goal of the day. He's a big target down there. They'll be looking to utilise him today, Sam Siggins, of course. So, Siggins lines up Angle looks pretty good. The kick looks pretty good as well. He gets it in there. The kick looks superb off the boot. And Siggins gets their first of the afternoon for Lauderdale.
Yeah, the game just had been calling out for something like that. For the Bombers, their talisman inside forward 50, Sam Siggins. He spied a bit of space in front of him for the first time today. There's going to be a sea of bodies down there every time they've gone forward. Finally some open field, and he just pointed and he charged from the goal square with purpose, and Tilly just laced it beautifully out in front of him. Nothing the defence could do, and we know what a lovely kick Sam Siggins is. He thumps that through and looks to get his side off and running here after the Tigers got the first couple. So they claw back on the scoreboard, cut the margin back to 4 points as Carter and Siggins now battling in the ruck. Umpire's whistle sounds.
Gone a bit smaller today. Joy, of course, no Noah Holmes in that forward line, so Siggins and Phillips rotating.
There's a 6.66 breach was that one, so a warning for the Bombers. That started with 7 inside the forward 50 and just the 5 in the midfield.
Sneaky.
So they're on their warning number 1. Handball through was a good one from Harnwell. Got it to Gordon. Gordon has a chance to deliver inside the forward 50. Went looking for Ashland. Was just caught behind. Might have been held though. The umpire pays the free kick, and Ashland with the chance for the Tigers third. They had a 2-on-1. Didn't really need to do that there. The Ashland. Suki, I think it was, just grabbing the jump up. Some nice work out of the middle, and a chance for the Tigers to immediately respond to that Siggins goal, extend the lead back to 10 points. He makes no mistake. Guides it through. The Tigers have started nicely here in Lauderdale.
Perhaps he might be the second tall down there, Drewy. I mean, usually we used to see him run through the midfield, but looks like the lack of tools down there. I mean, Bresnikak's going to play him a little bit in the ruck. Carter and him are going to switch around. So, of course, the two bigger forwards as he drifts down to the goal square. Suki's not going to be an easy matchup, though. He's slowly working his way into being one of the premier defenders in this competition, Suki, but just on that occasion let himself down. And Ashland, playing as that second tall, does really well and slots their third as we go back into the middle. Carter instantly out was Rainbird, stabbing a little kick in the direction of Blackburn, just over the head of him. Running onto this one is Burgess. Blackburn eventually met him though and tried to swoop on it, hugging the boundary with the centering kick as Ratcliffe into the full forward position, but a nice intercept mark taken by the Tigers. Kick out wide. Williams with a big fist over. And we'll see a throw in. Not a bad crowd here. Maybe a couple behind the glass. Doesn't look too bad out here at Lauderdale though. Ground looks pretty good. We'll see it. Another throw in on the half forward flank. Siggins convincingly bet his man out the ruck. Try to rip it. Ran into some trouble. Rainbird. Link a hand passes from Bresnikak. Off to Gordon. Ran himself into some Rainbird trouble. Blackburn trying to come out and meet this one. Burgess. Hooker. Chain of hand passes just getting cut off now. Hand pass now to Tilly. Just misfired with a hand pass though to Ratcliffe. And we'll see a ball up.
Gordon slightly gingerly back to his feet. Rainbird, like a bull in a china shop there, just throwing his body around, collecting Tigers. A couple of firm bumps from him. Gordon back on his feet now, but slightly sore after that. So here's Kieran Lovell looking to turn away, sends it wide, but too much on the kick. Belchambers quite reel it in, and in the end it's Shark there. Nicely done by Ashland. An opportunity to go forward via Henry, who launches it. It wasn't a great kick though. Suki had his name all over it.
Nothing to kick to there, Drewy. Ashland had made his way up the ground.
Here's the problem as McGuinness drops the short one off to Ratcliffe. He'll guide one to Hooker. Hooker with room to manoeuvre here. He runs it and hands it to the outer wing. McGuinness now driving them up towards the half-forward line. They're just pulling away. Ball spills out the back. The boundary line one out, but the umpire's whistle had gone before that. A holding free kick in favour of the Bombers. Thinking about taking the shot on here, sure. Weber, in fact, he's across the face. Almost bringing in was Hooker, but a minor score only.
So Lovell out of fullback, taking the kick-ins now for the Tigers. Kips towards the pocket, picks up the game. 150 man in Lockie Clifford. They're using the hand pass well though, but just running himself into trouble in times is Carter. Back to Lovell. It feels like he's been here, there and everywhere. Has Kieran Lovell. Standing underneath this one here is Brower, the vice skipper, towards the half-forward flank. Running onto this one is Clifford. The leak of hand passes was superb from Kingborough. And again, getting themselves out of trouble on that occasion. It was Will Clifford finishing that one. He sized them up perfectly. And a brilliant goal for Kingborough. That makes it 4 straight now, Drew. And they're starting to like how this game's going for them.
Yeah, some lovely work from Brereton on half forward there, hitting up with the football. Then just had the vision to spy Clifford charging forward into that space. Looped the handball over the top for him. Absolutely nailed the handball. It was some super slick work and just hard running. They had nobody forward of the ball, but their smaller players just absolutely gut run from half back, got up there, gave them the option, and just caught them with a bit of speed back the other way. They don't have much size in the forward line, but looking to use their speed. Numbers behind the ball, then charge forward. It's a hard-running style, and it's working at the moment. Here's Gordon bursting out of the middle. The Tigers looking to continue the early pressure. Suki just got rid of his opponent. Couldn't reel in the mark, though. Ball spills the way at Bellchambers. Had Sutton on, but instead just pulled the kick into the corridor and invited in Lovell, but was able to find Hooker all the same. And he'll head wide to Woodward. Guides it into the corridor, barely the 15, but just is to Marriott. Tigers doing a good job manning up, not giving him an easy out here, and in the end tries for a bit of a risky switch. Ran a long way backwards to McGuinness under pressure from Knighton. Now eventually they will be able to execute the switch, but I think on further afield, so back to McGuinness they go. McGuinness hits very wide. Winter with nothing immediately he fancies. Eventually he'll be forced to kick to a contest. Big fly from Tilly, couldn't quite reel it in. The Tigers forced the turnover. Lovell trying to dance through some traffic, did it pretty well. To Burgess and back to Lovell. Must have had 7 or 8 touches already in this one. Lovell running hot. Winter immediately brought down. Ashland has a hold of him. And they force a stop. It's just a bit stagnant from the Bombers there. They looked around, they tried to find openings, but the Tigers shutting them down here, bud.
Covering the ground nicely with the Tigers. Ball up out of side. Phillips winning this one down convincingly. He was looking for Rainbow, but eventually it bobbles out to Siggins, holding free kick going the way of the Tigers. So Bailey Gordon, heavy collision early. Looks like he's okay though. Gordon searching for a kick. Goes further down the line and hits up Harnwell. Starting to find his feet in senior football is Pat Harnwell. On a second grade premiership with the Tigers in the cricket last year. Big fly from McGuinness with the fist out of there as they look to go forward, the Tigers, but McGuinness was standing in the hole. Nice little link up hands from Treasure. And now they're going to work their way down the field. The nice mark taken from Griggs over the top. That was a superb mark as they look to go back to go forward now, the Tigers, by way of Brereton, switching it out now to Godomski. Making a run for it is Code, but Godomski just spilt the mark. It wasn't pretty play at all by Kingborough. Dancing through was Brower. Godomski's kick was a shank. It nearly worked out though, and Livingston had to try and make something of it, but it wasn't great from the Tigers there. It was pretty scrappy, Drew.
Yeah, he's had a brilliant year, Lockie Godomski, but not his finest 30 seconds there, it's fair to say. No harm done, though. It'll just be, that's ball in, half forward for the Bombers. Jail for Godomski today, standing Siggins when he moves forward. Phillips back into the ruck, he won that one down to Hooker. Hooker comes through, just got a feather on the ball, and now works it to Rainbird. Rainbird spears one towards the forward 50. Brereton came across with a double-fisted spoil. We'll just opted to leave it, and then a high clearing kick out of defence. Bellchambers comes over the top of Watt, then looks to bullock his way through Bellchambers. And just running out of room as it trickles across the line. So it's a handy 15-point lead here at the moment for the Tigers. A strong start. Just the Sam Siggins goal so far for Lauderdale. Phillips with a decisive spike out of the ruck contest, knocked away from Clifford. Livingston was there, and then Clifford retreats back slightly loose with the handball. That's going to invite some pressure. They work their way through it pretty well though, and Burgess is able to clear it up towards the middle of the ground. Phillips comes across to body up. Ashland doing well, fighting on, and then Watt scoops the handball. They could be out the back again here. Here's Knighton, wide open 50, lost his footing though at the crucial moment. They're storming forward to the ball. Carter trying to get free. It was vital that Williams held him up for the Bombers because they were streaming out the back there, the Tigers.
Yeah, Carter just upended. He needed to do it. Knighton maybe get the longer studs as Carter rips it out of the ruck as he always does. Numbers favouring the Bombers. Bellchambers to McGuinness. Now down the line in search of Campbell Hooker. Bridge is wearing him well, but Hooker used the body nicely. He had his brother on in the middle if he wanted to. Didn't go to him. He'll just go the 15 to Williams. Williams searching kick to switch it into the middle of the ground. It just misfired over the head of Bealey. He hasn't really been sighted yet. There's Bealey using Marriott with the hand pass and trying to go down the outer side again. A lot of play on it as they go forward now by way of Shaw. Hand pass back inboard to Hooker. Had to take the contact from Harnwell and it was high. Maybe a duck of the knees there from Hooker, but nonetheless the umpire got sucked into it. So Lauderdale looking for their second if Campbell Hooker can get this. They got Phillips on the goal line if they just want to sort of sit it up and see if he can mark it, but Campbell Hooker looks pretty comfortable. Well, maybe not too comfortable. Well, Fletcher Hooker rather. I get those ones confused. So Fletcher Hooker now looking for their second. It's a big bomb from outside 50 right to the teeth of the goals and across the face for a minor score. That's 1-3 now to the Bombers.
3 and a couple out of bounds on the full. They haven't been high percentage shots, mind you. They've certainly not been ones you look back and go, they should be nailing them. The Tigers doing a good job funneling the attempts into pretty difficult positions. So I'm delighted with how this game is playing out so far, Kingborough, as the ball is worked towards the wing. Big pack of bodies out there. Handball to Williams. Williams scooped it back to Hooker. He's immediately wrapped up and caught holding the footy. Harnwell wins the ball at halfback for the Tigers. He started this game brightly. So the Tigers now in the Carter direction. Has a couple to beat. He might beat them though. Came out the back to Carter. Wants to turn to his left and instead turned into the tackler Bellchambers, who locks it in. Just surprised the Bombers' defence by leaking out the back there. Phillips wins it down. Weber's handball going nowhere. Bealey with an up and under won't be the 15. Winter immediately caught. That drives him down, and that will be quarter time. A brilliant start from the Kingborough Tigers. They've come here with a game plan and they have executed. 4 straight 24, taking their chances, leading the slightly wayward Bombers at 1-3-9. It's been a pretty even game for the most point, but the Tigers making the most of their opportunities and a well-deserved lead at quarter time.
Certainly have made the most of their opportunities. It just feels like every time they get themselves into a little bit of running trouble, they have Kieran Lovell to get that hand pass out and just clear the area. So he's one to watch for mine if you're Lauderdale. They need to try and get maybe a body to him because he's finding himself in some space, really like the first quarter of Pat Harnwell as well. He's finding himself in some good areas as well as Brower. I mean, Lauderdale then not looking too bad. It's just more how Kingborough are keeping them to, as you said, those shots from sort of your outside 40 range. They're not the easiest kicks. So 1-3 and a couple of out on the fulls isn't ideal for them. But they haven't necessarily had an easy kick towards goal. Maybe that Sam Siggins won the easiest one of the afternoon, perhaps. But yeah, they got a bit of thinking to do, Lauderdale, not out of it, but Trent Borman will really start breathing some belief into these players. It's a young group he's got out there today, Drury, so the belief is crucial.
Well, I think he's got his game plan spot on too. They've had numbers behind the football. They've kind of clogged up And every time the Bombers have looked up, they've been kicking to an outnumber. They've not been able to find a loose man, so they've been forced to kick to a contest. You'd think that should mean the Bombers have loose men out the back, and often they have, but the speed and the running power of the Tigers has been fantastic. They're chaining handballs, they're running, they're looking to get out the back with the speed. They're pushing up the field, condensing the playing area, then looking to get them out the back. And so far, they've been able to do it a couple of times. Tough game plan to keep going for 4 quarters. We'll see if they can. We'll be back shortly with quarter number 2.
Yes.
So we're back for the second quarter here as patrons make their way off the ground. The sun still shining down on Lauderdale Oval. Great day for football.
My favourite part of footy, Drury, getting all the people off the ground after the kick quarter time.
It's just it's a wonderful charm, isn't it? People going in to listen to the huddles of the coaches and hear what's being said. I do love that part of the local footy. It's a great tradition. And a few just rather leisurely making their way off here, so the umpire's just waiting for them to clear the fence. Some a bit swifter than others.
Go
in that
around
regard.
and open the gate up.
So the umpire holds the ball aloft and we're good to go in the second term. See if the home side can fight their way back in this one. They've got a bit of work to do. And it's going to be a free kick. It's going to be a ball up.
Nifty by Carter there, just he fell into the drop zone of where he was going to hit it, Phillips.
And Phillips wins it down, then follows up at ground level, but Gordon released the handball to Clifford, and Clifford will send the Tigers forward immediately. One-on-one there. All spilled away. Brower couldn't quite take it cleanly. Suki spiked it down as far as Lovell, but barely got across to bring him to ground, and it's taken across the line. Big tackle there by Bealey. And the Hulk, the dangerous Lovell, who's in his usual prolific self to start this game. Absolutely everywhere in quarter number one. Phillips wins it down. Rainbird at ground level. Clifford climbs on top of him. It'll be a ball up.
Yeah, good matchups across the ground. Gomsky on Siggins, Brereton on Dolliver. Trying to make their way out of the defensive area at Lauderdale. In there was Hooker, fell to ground, and Griggs had him instantly. Carnell laying a bit of extra support with that tackle. And another ball up. So they started this quarter how they started the first one. Kingborough out of the blocks early. Tap down from Phillips. Overrunning it though was Fletcher. Hooker. Ball in dispute, and then eventually the umpire calls for a ball up. Clifford and Rainbird. Two bulls going at it. Again, Phillips tried to spike it out only as far as the awaiting Clifford. Hooker ran himself into trouble, fended, and holding the football is the call. Nice tackle from Joey Brower. So, on the half-forward flank now. Here we go. It's a high up and under ball inside forward 50. Bresnikak was there. Phil Chambers with the fist. Out now to Tilly. We know he's got a bit of time and space and a bit of speed. As they go down the line now, Lauderdale hits up a nice running and waiting Shaw. It's stagnant with how they want to go forward though, so Shaw just holds it up and looks for the next best option. Good ball inside forward 50 now. This came from the side from Burgess. And this one will see them out of bounds. That's sort of where they got stuck. Drury trying to get the ball forward. Lauderdale hasn't been the easiest task for them in this game.
Just had to move it quicker there. Siggins was out the back of Godomsky on his own, calling for the football. He waited and waited. By the time he got down there, 5 defenders had arrived. Give your man a chance one-on-one, especially when it's Sam Siggins. Don't keep him waiting. So they'll try and charge off here, but Ratcliffe lays a good tackle. The handball was just released in time. Kick up towards the middle of the ground. Worked underneath the football was Knighton. McGuinness now looks up, heads wide, sets a task of Tilly. Gets the football, couldn't take it cleanly. Siggins gathering at ground level, worked it to Tilly who continued his run, sweeps the handball back, trying to take it cleanly. There was Shaw, couldn't quite, and they're able to clear the danger. Chance for Lovell, battled well, just burrowed after it, combined nicely with Brewer. And now they're on through the middle via Clifford, retreats back to Lovell, another disposal for him. He heads across the ground. Finds the marking target. Now they'll go forward inside 50 towards Brower. The ball is a little short of him though, just not the service he was after. The Bombers able to repel up, bounced off the chest of Tilly. Brings it under his spell. His handball was shut down though. Brewer sharked to Tilly back in again. Forcing it forward, Harnwell. Harnwell crashes in. Tough coming together there. Handball was blocked off by Phillips to Rainbird. He forces it out. Now an opportunity for Ratcliffe to try and drive them down the line. Spearing ball up the wing, but coughed up. Lovell couldn't gather cleanly. Ratcliffe goes back in. He retreats for Tilly. Heavily involved in the early goings of this quarter. Sam Tilly, the late in. That kick, a poor one, and drifts out of bounds on the full.
So Clifford now. Nice little kick up to the outer wing. They try and go forward now with a scrubby ball inside forward 50. Dropping back in the hole was Bell Chambers. Harnwell got it on the right boot. Set for goal. Harnwell nearly across the face. And little land outside the field of play for a throw in deep inside forward 50 now for the Tigers. 4 straight. It's a 1-3. They've made the most of their opportunities in front of goal to start with. Kingborough. Tap down to Beerley. Coming out to meet it was Ashland. Still going. The Tigers flick the hand pass back inboard. Lovell dancing around. Side along the boundary. Had the hand pass running in support from Stevenson. Just got stripped of it. Did Sutton. And we'll see a free kick going the way of Reece Sutton. Deep in defence for Lauderdale. Kicks it to McGuinness looking to open up this ground. With the kick towards Shaw. They're going to take the shorter option in Fletcher Hooker. Moving this one down the wing further afield. They've got Dolliver coming up to meet it. They might go with Webber. They might just send a long line high in the Campbell Hooker direction. Briggs with a nice fist, but it was high contact, so they're going to try and move it forward now, Lauderdale.
Siggins deep in the forward line. Phillips working down there. He'll have a fair size advantage on Brzezinskak, but they're going to just shift it sideways for the time being to McGuinness, who's a penetrating kick. Siggins calling for it deep, but again we'll just opt to stab a little short one. No, Williams dances off to his right, and he drives it in. Phillips the target. Brzezinskak did pretty well to get a fist on it. And it's locked inside the forward 50 for a ball up. So the Tigers defence continuing to hold up. Siggins doing the ruck work, took it out himself, fed it back to Sutton. Snapshot round the corner. He's chopped off by Griggs. He wheels off to his right, didn't have anything forward of him, so just had to go sideways to Clifford. He'll drop a short one off for Brower. And they work their way through that pretty well, the Tigers. They're able to get some bodies forward now. Again, wide ball. Clifford gathers just inside. Handball over the top to Carter. Back to Clifford. Clifford under pressure from Ratcliffe, but he released in time to Carter. Just pulled his kick somewhat, though. Straight to Suki. There was absolutely no one in the vicinity of that ball bar Suki. He drives one into the middle for McGuinness. McGuinness switches wide for Winter. To work the outer wing here, the Bombers. Two now, Williams, Fletcher Hooker on centre wing. To control the football. The Tigers doing a pretty good job shutting down passing options. So he'll kick to a contest now. Hooker was there. These ball slaps centrally. Pressure came from Woodward, but the Tigers with the numbers out the back. Able to just work it out to Lovell, who fires a low dart and he finds it out at half back.
Yeah, nicely done from Lovell. Brower now to Harnwell. Half back flank. The Tigers working their way down the outer wing again. They've looked to go down this outer wing, Kingborough. So they dumped a long one down towards the half forward line. Ashland came out to meet it. Fist came from behind and it was Swift. Again with Lauderdale. Winter. Pass to McGuinness. McGuinness now Corridor kick is good, and that might be out now, Lauderdale. Nice little bit of run and dash from Ratcliffe. Ball inside, forward 50 for Siggins! Feel for Brereton there. That was not the matchup they would have liked, that's for sure. Brereton struggling with height and age. He's only a young man. It's Brereton, and experience showing nicely there from Siggins.
Ratcliffe got it in a bit quicker that time. That time they decided we'll move it, pull the trigger a bit earlier, give him the look one-on-one, and you got the size and physical advantage Siggins does. Just got to be looking to do that as often as they can. And he showed wide there, so Siggins looking for his second, and only his team second.
It's very true. So Siggins, Brereton. Siggins now looking for their second, drills it over the netting, and it's as simple goal as it comes for Sam Siggins. Difficult position for the Tigers to be in there, just with the matchup, but Siggins made it work pretty easily for the Bombers. So he gets their second to his tally for the day.
Someone's going, I think, Tony.
Yeah, so they're able to cut the margin. Stream's got 2-4, the ground he's got 2-3. This match, we'll have to get that one confirmed later.
Yeah.
But on the 9 points to 8 points. As we head back to the middle, I think the ground one's right. Maybe one of those out on the full might have gone as a behind, but we'll get that clarified later. That's got to be a free kick. That's their second 6-6-6 breach. So the second time today, they've just not lined up in formation here, the Bombers, and you don't often see them early in the second quarter.
No.
Not on the same page as each other right now, the Bombers. So Carter will be the beneficiary, and he just sells a little candy to Phillips, if you don't mind, and will drive it deep inside the forward 50. Can he find a marking target? Ball off hands. Harnwell with a dumping tackle. That was a crunching one. Ashland trying to wriggle free, works the handball back inside. Flying shot on the run from Brower is good, and the Tigers respond just as they did to the first Siggins goal. They respond almost immediately and restore their buffer of 15 points. Really, the Bombers, their own enemies there, just gifting them the ball out of the middle of the ground.
Yes, very opportunistic there from Brower. Nicely done. He's a class player. And yeah, like you said, Siggins kicked that goal in the first quarter. They responded immediately. A little bit of deja vu here, 11 minutes into this second term. So 5 straight. They got their kicking shoes on today. Kingborough, good opportunity to come out here against quality opposition and test themselves, and that's what Trent Bormer definitely would have liked. As we're set and ready to go back in the middle, Phillips. Silver service down to Sutton. That was brilliant as they drive and ball inside forward 50. Nice mark from Rainbird. Came out to meet it. Not the biggest fella on the ground, but he made the mark look pretty darn good. Did Rainbird.
Lean out of the middle there. Phillips down to Sutton. Hits the leading forward. That is just how the coach draws the plays up right there.
If you're anyone watching that, that is visual chocolate. As Rainbird looks to go and quick fires a goal. Nicely done from Rainbird, and they just get another one for the Bombers. That's their third. Again, an immediate response. So Rainbird does nicely there. There's only been 2 goal kickers. Rainbird now one of them. And it was just that mark. It was nice. He had a good bit of elevation off the ground, and it made it work for the Bombers, which Rainbird played for 2016 Milwaukee Premiership player. Nice niche stats for you, Drewy.
I always trust you to bring a Magpies Premiership stat into the mix, Bowie, but as a thumping kick from him, that carried through very nicely. We've carried another 15 metres or so, a thumping kick. So the goal's starting to flow here at Lauderdale. 3 and a few minutes here. Phillips swings his fist. Didn't quite collect on the second time. Forward by Brower. Intercepted though by McGuinness at centre half back. Up. One way, then went the other. And the marking target in the form of Winter. So Winter opts to head wide. Good option. So Bell Chambers. towards the half-forward line. Godomski spilt one he probably should have had. Lets in Siggins. He was stripped of the football though. Ball spills out. Nowhere is Hooker. Phillips beautifully down. Great diving smother though from Brower, the Mitch variety. High ball inside forward 50. Clifford battling with Treasure. Scoop towards the line. Gordon keeps it in play, stops props, and then guides the kick to half back. So they work it pretty well. Harnwell busy. That kick, a poor one though. Straight into the tall figure of Andrew Phillips. Those long levers up to block it off. McGuinness into the middle of the ground for Shaw. Shaw to Bealey. Bealey moved it quickly to Tilly, who drives it inside 50. And it just dropped into the breadbasket of Hooker, who says thank you. He'll go back for what should be a pretty regulation shot.
Ugly kick there from Benny Williams, but they made it work eventually. Hooker in the right spot at the right time.
Don't think it was his target.
No, just wanted to bang it out of the air out.
And Hooker, chance to string goals here for the Bombers for the first time today. They do just that. They have consecutive goals, and they close back within 3 points. They're starting to get rolling here in quarter number 2, the Bombers.
Oh, a siren as well, I'll tell you what. Whapping down here at Lauderdale.
Yeah, right, Bomber siren. Don't mind it.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I like it. I think I'm a fan of it. So back to 3 points. It's maybe a little bit of a dangerous sign now for Kingborough. Of course, only kicking the 1 goal this quarter. They started like a house on fire, but just haven't been able to get a couple of entries inside forward 50 in a row. Phillips now out to Stevenson. Instantly met by an awaiting Josh Webber tackle. We'll see a ball up. Nichols, the umpire, experienced umpire out there. Phillips trying to tap it down to Rainbird. Overrunning it though was Treasure. Ball towards the half forward flank. Burgess used the body. Marriott, nice little pick up and go. Hand pass to Hooker. High up and under one towards Tilly, who flew. Godomski with the fly. Marriott into the lap of him. Just got stripped of it. Ball in dispute still. And a high free kick going the way of, it might be Ned Marriott. So we'll be looking, try to set them up with a high raking kick inside the forward 50 now for the Bombers. It's getting there and it's gone.
They've paid the Shepherd on the line.
Shepherd.
Jeez, you stiff. They never pay those, Bowie.
No, they don't. That's interesting free kick from the umpire, but Marriott, that was a big booming boot from him. Very stiff.
I'm fine with the umpire paying those. It's just you can normally get away with assault on the goal line. The umpire actually playing the rule book for once, which is a rare occurrence. Anyway, chip back to Sutton, and the Bombers really starting to get on top here, turning the screws. Sutton didn't see anything he liked inside forward 50, so have to retreat back to Shaw. They'll just try and think their way through this. McGuinness now. It's a crowded 50, but there's some tall timber down there. Siggins repeat leads, and the third one is on it. Just kept offering, and eventually McGuinness found him. And we know he can carry the journey for his third.
Yeah, it's a very crowded forward line. Everyone's pressing up. No one really in or behind the centre half line. Everyone's pressed up in a crowded 50, but Siggins was just able to find a bit of time and space. A good player like him will do that.
Sam Siggins, he's kicked 2. He'll set sail from about 55 for his third of the afternoon. Looks pretty good off the boot. Sammy Siggins continuing to run red hot here, and he puts his side ahead for the first time this afternoon. He has 3, the Bombers have 5, and they lead this one by 3 points.
And it's the signature one hand up in the air. What else would you expect? It's a nice moment from Siggins. Second of the quarter, third of the game. So he's just starting to get firing now, and Lauderdale taking the lead for the first time in this game. Have a cracker on our hands here at I don't think it's Skybus. I think it's the Tilford tip now, is what they're dubbing it. As we are back into the centre now. Siggins and Ashland, a very undersized Ashland in that ruck. Didn't work out for them. Hooker trying to run into this one. Ashland maybe playing as a smaller midfielder, or a bigger midfielder, I should say. Clifford, hand pass over the top. Jordan, nice bit of spread now for Kingborough. Carter's going to try coming out to meet this. Harnwell just danced around him and said, I'll go myself. Link of hand passes. Brower, that's a brilliant moment. The link of hand passes has been on full show today for Kingborough. And again, it was nicely done from Brower. How good was that, Drewy? Just getting their way out of trouble. It was that kick from Gordon. It was scrubby. Carter and Harnwell wanted it, but Harnwell the better option and then flicked it off to Joey Brower.
Really good Harnwell, definitely involved, and yeah, again, just hard running from half back to give them numbers up there, and the run and gun game has been working. And just been starting to drift back in favour of the Bombers this quarter. They're really on top, dominating territory. Important that they continue to take their chances, and that they are doing. They are 6 goals straight here, the Tigers, so they're hanging in there and they're back in front, making the most of their moments. Siggins, a beautiful piece of ruck work down to Sutton, but immediately Clifford has a hold of him. And getting right on top out of the middle of this quarter, the Bombers. Of course, no Bryce Walsh out there today. Jordan, some nice clearance work, and he shares this one with Harnwell. Harnwell stabbed it in the Carter direction, whacked away from him. Siggins just paddling it into space. Hamble coughed up to Hooker. Hooker clears defensive 50 out towards Rainbird. Just had to wait on the bounce. He gathers now. Has some time to pick an option, and went looking for Blackburn. In the end, went all the way to Dolliver. Dolliver tracked the football pretty well back to Rainbird. Has to get rid of it. Does to Sutton. Sutton, that wasn't 15. Was sharp and aware, though, to play on Sutton. But not quite so sharp out there. Williams lost a hold of the football. The Tigers now through Brower, back the other way. Sends it up towards the half-forward line. Here's Harnwell trying to shrug free, and shrugging free and finding Carter. Harnwell again, he's been involved in so many of their good moments. And Carter will go back and should kick their 7th.
Dolliver just hung on to that mark. They had Phillips in an isolated one-on-one with Godomski. Just too slow and eventually spilling it. But Carter, the opposite end of the spectrum, very nice.
Should be a pretty regulation goal coming up here for Tyler Carter. Makes no mistake. Tigers remain flawless. 7 goals straight, 42. So after Lauderdale had headed them and just started to get on top, the Tigers respond with a couple of quick goals, and they're back out by 9 points.
Yeah, he's done some good stuff, Carter. It'll be a tougher day for him in front of the goals, of course, because he'll be switching in the midfield. But when he gets down forward, he's one of the hardest forwards to beat is Tyler Carter. And that was on full show there. So, back in now. Looks like Ashland's going to take my advice and try and nullify the jump of Phillips. Just goes a little bit more forward. Make sure he doesn't jump, or makes me look like an idiot there as Rainbird. A couple of attempts on it. Suffering ball forward there from Phillips, but only numbers are there are the Kingborough jumpers by way of Henry. Burgess and Blackburn. Henry still hugging the boundary line. Clifford, this one right in front of us in the commentary position. Hooker, flew from behind. Harnwell, again, your man Drewy's doing some really good stuff. Ball in the middle now. Tackle was good from Winter. Slung in professionally, and we'll see another ball up. Harnwell doing some really good stuff. Phillips right into the path of Fletcher. Hooker trying to strip him was Woodward. Clifford got the hand pass out to Brower. That one just got cut off though. Ratcliffe. Hand pass further afield now to Williams. Danced around one and then sends him inside forward 50 again. Siggins with a one-handed attempt. Marks nearly, but doesn't matter if he marks it because at ground level he can do just as well, Sam Siggins. And the one-handed attempt, he crumbed it beautifully. And that's another goal this quarter for him. That's his 3rd this quarter and his 4th for the game, Drewy. He's really being hard to stop now.
Yeah, Godomski did well initially in the air, but just too big, too strong. Sam Siggins Didn't matter. Ball hit the deck. Just held off the attentions of Godomski. Snapped it over his shoulder. It's an incredible goal. The best of his 4. They close back within 3 points. He's proving a major problem for the slightly undersized Tigers defence to handle. Godomski able to hold him there. Siggins has 4 of his side 6. 3-point ball game. Entertaining affair here as Phillips smashes it with the double palm forward. Clifford locked up by Rainbird. Gordon running over the top of it. Should be able to work it out here via Burgess as he chips it to Lovell. Lovell directing traffic, demanding something further afield. Bell Chambers and Brower. Umpire's whistle goes in favour of Bell Chambers. Free kick. It's Brower just for a push out. Bell Chambers again execute the switch, something the Bombers have been quite happy to try and do here today. Williams now. Send it in the Weber direction. Through his hands though. Dropped one he should have had. That invites some danger. Just been a bit untidy a few times today. Now an opportunity forward. It's guided in there. Slick hands to Carter. Carter caught by Winter. Shrugged him off and got the kick away. And it's a little directionless. McGuinness able to gather. Bill Chambers. Hooker has to wait. Got an unkind bounce. Clifford lurking. Harnwell again. Great tackle. Hooker stripped him of the ball. Fell the way of Rainbird. Rainbird's handball, a loose one though. That was poor. Will they punish him? A kick from range from Gordon. It's just offline. Ball live in the pocket. Handball back. Bill Chambers under pressure, but he was equal to it. McGuinness now across to Tilly. Tilly down the line for Ratcliffe. It was clever, kept it low, found Ratcliffe. That not quite as good a kick though. Brereton was favoured. They recovered the situation pretty well, and Treasure, he had Siggins one-on-one. It wasn't really to his advantage though, the kick. And Godomski does well enough to see it out of play.
Yeah, delete the tape of that. That was, that was some more of the most untidy football you will see. Fumbles and misfired hand passes. The kick, you can't really be too harsh on Treasure there. He's sort of put off balance and obviously on the opposite foot. And it nearly worked out, although Godomski was just in the right place. He had the front position, but it was untidy. But we make our way down with the forward line for the Bombers. Siggins, is he going to look to grab it out of the ruck? We'll have a look. Siggins, tap down was good to the awaiting Dolliver, but the free kick has been called. It's going the way of Tom Ratcliffe. So, if they didn't take the chance with Dolliver, it's fine because Ratcliffe is here with the free kick. It was a pretty good tap down if that free kick hadn't been called though, so they were out regardless. So Ratcliffe looking to get his first. 3 points to margin, looking to extend it out to 9. This one just drifts across the face of goal. It worked its way back a little bit, but the wind not helping him out. That's a minus score going the way of Ratcliffe.
So Lovell out of full-back here. Deep into quarter number 2. His side only by 2 points in what's been thoroughly entertaining first half of action here at Lauderdale Oval. Harnwell again continues to impress, takes the mark. Just have to wait for the runners to get forward of the ball for him. He'll set up behind the football. So now a few options present. He kicks long, McGuinness best positioned and plucks the mark nicely. Is he going to get 50 there? Brewer just making a nuisance of himself. Umpire says he backed into him. He wasn't in the path. So it's away with it. Just does enough to hold him up. Umpire's whistle now sounding, and eventually there will be 50 metres given. So not sure if that was protected zone or a bit of back chat, but they get their 50 eventually. And they'll have a chance. McGuinness just too far out to score. Chance to set things up. Nice to Sam Siggins, who's already kicked 4. He presents now.
Oh, go to him.
Goes in that direction. Just too much on the kick though, and it failed to relieve Godomski, who lost Siggins in the traffic. He's kicked straight back to McGuinness. Able to juggle the mark.
Lucky there. his opponent just slipped over.
Very fortunate indeed. Here's Bealey. Cross to Hooker. Hooker now. Spears one in. They'll get Siggins this time. There's no stopping him. They are looking to him at every opportunity. And the service has been pretty good.
And why wouldn't you go to him? This for another second quarter goal. If he gets this will be his 4th goal of the term. This could be a big day out for him. Looks like he's just starting to be very dominant. Of course, the 3 goals will say he has been, but now that they're targeting him a lot more, he could be in for a big day.
They are looking for their star man every chance they can, and why not? He's kicked 4 of their 6. This for a 5th goal before half-time for Sam Siggins. In the shadows of half-time, can he put the Bombers back in front in this game? He'll kick from the paint of 50. He sends it on its way, and he splits the middle again. Siggins has 5 before half-time, and the Bombers lead by 4. It's the Sam Siggins show at Lauderdale Oval.
There is nothing you can see in that is faulty with the kicking action. I mean, it's just you're teaching someone how to kick. That's exactly how you do it. He's a sound kick in front of goal. And again, they get they just push it forward, Lauderdale, by 4 points. That Brower goal, and then a little bit of a time break in terms of goals, but now they get another on Lauderdale, and Siggins is looking in red-hot form. As we go back into the middle now, Phillips just spiked it out of there as the siren goes. So it's a 4-point lead going the way of Lauderdale. We've got a real ball game on our hands here. Sam Siggins with 4 second-term goals, 5 for the game, as well as Rainbird and Hooker with singles as well for the Bombers, and Clifford with 2 singles going the way of Brower, Tyler Carter and Joey Brower as well. Pat Harnwell, another goal kicker. We've got a game on our hands here, Drury, which you probably wouldn't have expected coming to the ground today. Maybe not as tight, but it's looking like it's going to be a good matchup to watch.
That was a really enjoyable first half. The Tigers just hanging in there, taking their chances. Lauderdale really started to dominate the contest around the ground. Were on top for most of that quarter, but the Tigers, a couple of times they did manage to spring counter-attacks with speed. They punished some turnovers at half-back, and they're taking their opportunities. They're hanging in there. They're 7 straight 42. They've got one major headache, though, and I don't know how you solve it, and that is Sam Siggins. The Bombers know they like that matchup. They like the size advantage he has on Godomsky, and they are looking for it every time they have a chance to go in 50. Eyes to Siggins, and they're hitting him up. And it's so hard to defend because you can show him to the paint of 50. His range is 55. I reckon 4 of his set shots were all for around about the 50-metre arc, and then his snap was a brilliant one in a one-on-one at ground level. They've got to find a way to stop him. I don't know how they do that, because he's threatening to tear this game apart and completely take over right now.
Well, there's no doubt the matchup is correct. I mean, Godomsky is brilliant. They need to make sure that they get Godomsky on him at every opportunity. We saw earlier Brereton was the man on him. That's not the matchup. He's too small. They need Godomsky on him at all times. I mean, it's going to be obviously difficult, but they need to get him at every opportunity they can to get Godomsky on him, because he's the likely one who you think can stop him. But at the moment, even with Godomsky on him, it's a very hard matchup, Drew. You're very right.
Yeah, I don't know that he can stop him, but they've got to find a way to at least slow him down, get bodies in those leading lanes. They've done a pretty good job kind of denying service, but as that quarter wore on, his influence grew, and look, going to have to keep taking their chances when they present themselves. They'll be happy with the first half on the whole. To be there within 4 points is a good effort. They're big underdogs coming in today, but they've certainly got to salve that one if they're any chance. It's been an entertaining first half. The Bombers have a 4-point lead at the main change. We'll be back shortly with the second half for you on the live stream from Lauderdale Oval. 7-4-46 the Bombers, leading the Tigers 7 straight 42.
Wherever cancer is, we are. We are the supporters, preventers, researchers and advocates, leading Australia to a future without cancer. Every day, we're finding new and better ways to offer services, share knowledge, and bring hope to Australians everywhere, because cancer affects us all. We're here to lift some cancers altogether. You may not see us, but we're here, in schools and people's homes, on the beach, at work and on the streets, helping millions of Australians cut their risk and detect cancer sooner. We know that 1 in 3 cancers can be avoided, so we're out there preventing as many as we can. You may not hear us, but our voice is loud. Every day, we're using it to advocate, change laws and drive policies, to reduce cancer risks and improve cancer care, to break ground and speak for the community in places where they're not always heard. Every day, we're closer to a future without cancer. And as a charity, we rely on Australia's biggest hearts to help us get there faster.
Blunston's been building hard-working boots for over 150 years. The tougher you need them, the tougher we build them, giving you advanced protection and all-day comfort. After all, you never stand still, so neither do we. Blunston, building the future.
Oh, you mean the jam and cream? Good stuff.
Go! And one for you as well. Got it.
Original glazed. Classic.
At Banjo's, we speak donuts. Introducing our new range of flavours. Now there's one for everyone. Banjo's, making donuts better.
Always against me. Yeah, and whoever's in the ruck against me. He went toothless at one stage. He won the hit out and then just went for a second one. I object that sinking to the ball.
Wherever cancer is, we are. We are the supporters, preventers, researchers and advocates, leading Australia to a future without cancer. Every day, we're finding new and better ways to offer services, share knowledge and bring hope to Australians everywhere, because cancer affects us all. We're here to listen and care for people, however they need us, whenever they need us, through any type of cancer at any stage of the journey. Every day, we are supporting world-class researchers, empowering them to dream big and make the impossible possible. Together, we're pushing boundaries, unlocking the answers to understand, prevent and treat cancer. We're improving the lives of those living with it, and even getting close to eliminating some cancers altogether. You may not see us, but we're here, in schools and people's homes, on the beach, at work and on the streets, helping millions of Australians cut their risk and detect cancer sooner. We know that 1 in 3 cancers can be avoided, so we're out there preventing as many as we can. You may not hear us, but our voice is loud. Every day, we're using it to advocate, change laws and drive policies, to reduce cancer risks and improve cancer care, to break ground and speak for the community in places where they're not always heard. Every day, we're closer to a future without cancer. And as a charity, we rely on Australia's biggest hearts to help us get there faster.
Blunston's been building hard-working boots for over 150 years. The tougher you need them, the tougher we build them, giving you advanced protection and all-day comfort. After all, you never stand still, so neither do we. Blunston, building the future.
Oh, you mean the jam and cream? Good stuff.
And one for you as well. Got it.
Original glazed. Classic.
At Banjos, we speak donut. Introducing our new range of flavours. Now there's one for everyone. Banjos, making donuts better.
I'm pretty confident this year's my last year. Nobody really wears that. Still tells them in the shoes. Yeah, it's coming up.
That's on the winter. Miserable.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many.
I have no idea how you wear shorts in winter, though.
I don't usually feel
So we're back for the second half here at Lauderdale Oval. It's been a tight battle thus far. Lauderdale leading this one by 4 points, thanks primarily to Sam Siggins. He kicked 5 first half goals, including 4 in quarter number 2. To get their noses back in front after the Tigers had spent the majority of the first half in the lead, jumped sharply out of the blocks. We're playing quarter number 2. Took a couple of chances to hang in there. They've got a lot of work to do if they hang in there in the second half, but we'll find out. Phillips continued to get on top as the first half wore on. Gordon looking to break 3. Umpire whistled prematurely there, but we'll toss it up. Gordon pretty good in the first half for the Tigers around the clearances, sent them forward a few times. Phillips scoops that one back and will be blasted inside forward 50 here. The easy intercept taken though by Godomski all on his own. Clears it out towards Knighton, too much on the kick, but Williams scooped the ball. One in the middle of the ground, tackle from Ratcliffe on Watt. Walks it in and tossed up in the middle of the ground.
So Phillips, again winning the tap down, but Lovell, you just feel he's been everywhere this game, and another person who I feel has had a lot of it is Patrick Harnwell, who got tackled, but Lovell received the free kick. So look to go into an undersized forward line, and Ashland on the lead. He's come out to meet it. Streaming through was Knighton. He was on the lead. Didn't look to go to him, so Ashland might just have to go for it. Carter's working back on the goal line, so maybe a bit of protection for Ashland. This kick right on his range. The man on the mark standing exactly on the 50 arc, so to take his best. And then some, Riley Ashland. It's a good looking kick. It's not going to quite make the distance. It's right on the goal line. The fist was misfired, and we'll see a ball up deep inside forward 50 for the Tigers. And they're going to look to get their first of the third. Phillips taps it down. Lovell hugging the boundary line. Hand pass inboard to Stevenson. Lovell was there in support. Upended from Marriott. Hand pass was in search of Clifford. Streaming through was Shaw. Marriott's kick into the corridor. Or rather, this commentary side wing was a check side and didn't really work out. Rick was there, and then Sheridan got tackled from Dolliver. We'll see another ball up.
Tossed up on the wing here. Phillips continuing to use his size advantage and dominate the ruck contest. Handball out towards Rainbird, immediately besieged, and Gordon locks it in. Phillips takes front spot ahead of Brzezinskiak. Sutton coming through, couldn't gather it cleanly, goes back in, riding in firmly with Stevenson.
Big size difference here.
It certainly is. This time Brzezinskiak bring it down towards Gordon. Might have been taken down without the football there, Gordon. He'll get the free kick. So an opportunity to send the Tigers inside 50 again here to start the quarter. This one in the Carter direction was taken high and lace. That'll be a free kick, Bell Chambers. He's fortunate not to give away 50 there. That was quite late. Definitely high. Carter with a difficult kick coming up here. 45 metres out. Bit of an angle. They're yet to miss today, the Tigers. And they keep that streak going here into the second half. It'll take his best, Tyler Carter, looking to restore the Tigers' lead. Sends it on its way. He's just pushed it a bit too far. Through for their first minor score of the day.
So McGuinness, it was always going to be a difficult kick. It looked pretty good off the boot to start with, but just kept swinging across the face to the right-hand side. McGuinness, again, a lot of play on this outer wing. That's exactly where he goes. Phillips in a tussle with his man. Big ruck battle to play out this second term. Sutton spiked it on to Tilly. The late inclusion today. Chip kick over the top. Finds Woodward. Woodward. Corridor kick was just cut off. It was Dicey and Ashland now to Lovell. Streaming through for that side 50. No one on the goal line from Lovell. Just not a pretty bounce at all. Not great. You feel for him. Ugly bounce.
With the backspin.
Nearly. Yes, it was something not great. You don't want to see that if you're a Tigers fan. It was a good kick streaming out though. The link of hands has been brilliant for the Tigers today. So Phillips, hurried kick out from Suki, just clears the area. Back forms and Griggs from the side, and Brereton falls into the lap of Dolliver. The spiraling ball in front of Godomski, who's going to try to pick this one up. Hand pass inboard to Brower. And we'll see the ball up. Unlucky bounce for Lovell there, Druid.
Yeah, had it bounced forward. It was going right through the middle of the wide open goal square. Unfortunately, with the backspin. So, tossed back into play on centre wing. Phillips, unopposed, just flicks it back over his shoulder. Trying to crash through his hooker. He's brought to ground. Umpire says holding the footy. Clifford. Take over. Didn't see anything immediately to his liking, so kicks now to Knighton, who worked really hard to give him an option. Did he get it inside? He did, just inside the field of play. Jeez, he worked hard to get into that space. Knighton, now he'll drive them inside 50, looking for Carter. Spoiled from behind, fell the way of Suki, clears it up towards the middle of the ground, straight to Clifford. Clifford will doll it back inside 50, wide open, Ashland, stretching and reeling it in. So the Tigers started this quarter pretty brightly, doing all the attacking here at the moment. Angle against Ashland here. We'll take something special. That's a Lauderdale fan just going a little early with the distracting horn beep. So Ashland from the pockets just leaves it near side for a behind.
Worked a little bit, I think.
You've got to time it a little better than that. At least when he's dropping the football.
McGuinness now, the best thing about local football, that is all on display here at Lauderdale. So McGuinness, kick in search of Shaw, stood underneath it, really nice mark. He knew he had Burgess to the contact, sliding ball for Sutton. They spread further afield now. Sutton, little 9-iron. To Marriott, just the required distance. Further afield, there's only one-on-one to the spare man in Clifford. Wanted to go to Sutton. Instead opens up the ground to Suki. Suki. Just tracking them in now, Kingborough. Corridor kick is Dicey. It's nicely handled from Fletcher Hooker, who can go to Shaw or go in front of the interchange box. Nice mark from Marriott. Drive a long one inside forward 50. Siggins just through the hands of him. Coming out to meet a Treasure tight along the boundary. And will be thrown in. In fact, it was Webber who kicked that first one initially forward. Ball up. Or throw in rather. Deep inside the forward 50 for the Dale. 2 points splits them. Underdog. Kingborough looking okay. Lovell at the back of this pack, just fumbled it. Had a bit of time to release the hand pass to Griggs. Griggs with those bright coloured boots down the line to Clifford. Sutton comes and lends a hand to Dolliver, who has Clifford in a strong tackle. Ball up.
So the Bombers, their first real meaningful foray forward of the quarter. It's been the Tigers. The time in forward half to start things off here in quarter number 3. Phillips out of the ruck, didn't get much on that kick. Harmwell went back, got it to Lovell. Slick hands as ever back to Harnwell. Returned it to Lovell. Just treading water as he assesses options. Umpire spotted something off the ball here. It's going to be a free kick away the Tigers. It's Andrew Phillips. See the ball advanced any distance. Now for a kick. Now pressure, but Harnwell. He sides best in the first half, along with Lovell. And kick long down the line. Nice body work from McGuinness there. He takes the intercepting mark across the face of Bell Chambers. Bell Chambers spies teammate wide out on the wing and heads there. Good kick to Woodward. He'll thump one up towards the half-forward line. Blackburn juggling the mark. Did it nicely, Stixie Blackburn. He wheels and goes immediately, drives it deep, looking for Siggins. Works his way to the football, but he pushed Gadomski, and the umpire spotted it. And a free kick will go the way of the Tigers. Gadomski started this quarter pretty well. Siggins just getting rid of him there. Tigers to chip around the back. Grower, half back. Take the mark. Drive it down the line, looking for Ashland. Williams spoiled it away from him. And ball across to Kane. Kane steers one just ahead of Ashland, set him a task. It was always to the favour of Bell Chambers. He guards it wide to McGuinness.
McGuinness, right in front of us. Kick to Webber. Webber's got Phillips further afield. Didn't elect to go to him. So just holds up play. Webber sizing up some options. Chilly in the middle if you wanted him, but just goes down the line. It's a high searching ball. Phillips from behind. Ball bobbles out to Dolliver. Just drifts across the left face. Still dangerous. Gadomski sweeping that one up and clearing the area. Only prematurely though. So we'll see a ball in. Williams couldn't track that one down. Just a bit of halt at the moment, sort of playing in between the arcs. They get the chance to go forward. Haven't had the most of the opportunities yet. Either side. Good looking throw in as Phillips just thumps that one and tumbles across a couple of bonnets. Free kick going the way of Kingborough. So Lovell again has been prominent this game. Nice mark from Harnwell, who's done some really good stuff. Turns the afterburners on and then fires a hand pass. Carter in a one-on-one in the goal square. Suki tracking back. Carter off the deck, nearly. The big man bringing the foot race, which you probably wouldn't say all too often with Tyler Carter. And we'll bring it back in.
Did well to just get goal side of Suki there. Very crafty from big Tyler Carter, and what a laser of a kick that was from Lovell to Harnwell too. Trajectory on that ball.
Two of the prominent players today, Drew, have been good.
They have, and the speed of ball movement's been really impressive as Webber was under pressure there, did nicely to juggle the mark under pressure from Stevenson. Then he sent it into the corridor for Fletcher Hooker. Two very distinct styles of play. The Bombers have been quite happy to chip the ball around, play possession football, control things, try and work their way through. The Tigers, real run and gun. Winter in the middle for Hooker. He sends it up towards the half-forward line, stretching as his brother Campbell, who immediately goes looking for Siggins. Gadomski did really well to get a spoil up there though. Ball back into disputes. Siggins trying to work his way through. Gadomski doing well in the battle with Siggins this quarter.
Yeah, just staying a little bit closer to him, I think, Drew.
He's threatening to tear this game apart in the first half. Kick 5. We'll work towards the line. Lovell first to it. Dragged down by Bell Chambers. Fell the way of Hooker. Hooker with a snap shot, but it's erratic and out of bounds on the full.
So Will Clifford. Again, just looking for the best way out. Clifford again elects to go down this outer side. Williams from behind. Ashland escorting this one over the boundary line. So, 13 and a half minutes in to this third term. We still don't know. Now this one's going to pan out. Phillips, nice little spike down to Shaw. Hooker from the side. Brings ball to ground, nearly. Tracking down this one is Brereton. Siggins shrugged a couple and then ran himself into some real pressure. Nicely done from the Tigers.
Godomski again.
He's been good, Godomski, this quarter. So, again, sizing up the options. Both teams covering the ground pretty well. Not a whole lot of outlet kicks this quarter as Godomski goes out to Tilly, who spikes this one over in front. Lauderdale bench. Again, see Noah Holmes on the bench. No Jordan Lane out there today as well, so a bit undersized Lauderdale.
Leading this one by 1.74, plays 7-3 as Phillips wins it down. Handball back. And look at all the way back to McGuinness, who sweeps it to Phillips. Phillips also wants to dish by hand, does so eventually to Tilly. That kick charge down though, slapped on by Ashland. Dangerous here is Brower. You believing there was a hold not called there. As Brower goes back in again, works it on the outside. Guided into the pocket for Carter. Takes it ahead of Suki. Tight angle, but should suit his left foot as he opens up the angle, sets sail for home and leaves it near side. But we're all level here at Lauderdale Oval, 7-4-46 apiece. We've travelled over 15 minutes in the second term without a goal. The Majors have dried right up so far in this second half. It was pretty free scoring first half for the most part. Not the case here as Phillips takes a towering mark.
Phillips wheeling and going instantly. Kick just eludes the teammate in Bell Chambers, but used the body well. He'll get the 1-2 hand pass and fire a shot from outside 50. Brilliant stuff from Bell Chambers. Snuck down there. He's not usually an own goal kicker, but this time he makes the most of his opportunities and fired one from outside 50. Bell Chambers kicking the first of the third finally after 16 minutes.
Well, we had to wait for it, didn't we? But Bell Chambers, the unlikely goal scorer, as you say, the surprised man to break it open. A couple of times today he's just marauded forward off half-back and just sensed the moment with so many bodies back that, you know, I can sneak forward here and did the business there. So finally the stalemate broken in this third quarter and Lauderdale lead by that goal.
I don't know which goal he'd like more, the one right in the pocket in his 200. Thought that one there from outside 50, I think might have only 2 goals to choose from this year, Drewy.
Right, Siggins wins the hit out as the Bombers look to try and string some goals together. The handball, a good one across to Dolliver. Dolliver just sets it up in the Phillips direction. Couldn't quite reel it in. The last line defence, Godomski. Umpire's whistle signals a hold. A free kick will go the way of Griggs, who drives it in the Gordon direction, and they look to wheel off through the corridor here. Handball to Clifford, just danced around one and then swings it wide for Ashland. Too wide for Ashland. Almost hits the car in the end as he puts in the fence on the full. Stretching the confines of Lauderdale over a bit too far there.
They're game people parking their cars along that outer side.
So they'll retreat back to Williams. Finds McGuinness. They've been very content to just execute the switch frequently throughout the contest, the Bombers. Very patient with their ball movement today, and once again do so to Hooker, who heads wide. Blackburn stretching, takes a good mark below his knees.
Pinpoint.
So Blackburn, pretty crowded forward 50 ahead of him, and he just stops to swing it in the pocket and go to the big man, Phillips. Taken away from him by Godomski. Just a handle on it, Ratcliffe recovered it with a good tackle and locks it in for a ball up.
Blackburn playing a different kind of role this year, moving more up the ground. Certainly a team player. So a ball up inside the forward 50. Phillips ripped it out of the ruck, slung around in the tackle as he went to kick it. Bell Chambers still lurking around. Another ball, or throw in rather. Not sure what he's doing down there, Bell Chambers. Maybe a bit lost, maybe. Usually someone we know to kick a goal, but why not? It's worked out. Phillips again. You call his name a lot. Carter. Manhandled over the line by Fletcher Hooker. Bit of deja vu there, and we'll see another throw in. 18, nearly 19 minutes in to this third term. So Siggins and Ashland, an undersized Kingborough. Nice little kick up and go there from Jordan, using the opposite side to drill one down the line, but Suki stood in the road. McGuinness. Again, Josh McGuinness will get his hands on this one. A nice looking ball drifting out to this side to Blackburn and then to Tilly, the usual suspects for Lauderdale as Phillips stood underneath it.
Third time they've gone to him this quarter, Phillips, since he shifted forward here. The first couple of times they were able to negate him. Eventually you just felt that height was going to tell, and he plucks this one, and we know he's a long, lovely kick of the football. So you'd certainly be backing him to drive this one home, extend his side's lead. Just started to get on top in the last 5 or 10 minutes here, the Bombers.
They have this one to extend it out to 12. Andrew Phillips. Big levers. They need a kick. It's going to get them in front by 12 points. And that one's not it. That's one across the face to the left-hand side, rather. And another minor score. That's 8-6, or 8-5, rather.
So 7-point lead is Lovell again now to fullback. Spears one in the direction of Ashland. Blackburn did well just to spoil it away from him. Ashland now battling away with Blackburn and fight a draw. Good work from Blackburn to halt the counter there. Siggins with some crafty ruck work down to Hooker. Hooker's kick drifting wide. Trying to keep it in was Woodward, but couldn't do so, out of bounds. So the Tigers will take over in the back pocket. And Lovell just racking it up again today. He's been everywhere. If he's worked behind the ball, as this one is spoiled by Tilly, and now to play.
You felt if they were going to be any chance today, they needed Lovell to stand up, and at the moment he has. And Harnwell and both the Brower boys are getting involved as well, Drewy.
They've certainly looked to get it to Lovell. Every chance coming out of the back line, trying to use him as a distributor, and why not? Such a lovely kick of the football. Phillips decisively down, back towards the line, knocked away from Belt Chambers, who then tackles Lovell. Somehow got a handball away there. And Harnwell swooped on the football, and he'll play the 1-2 and charge through the middle of the ground. No one at the back of this contest. Big ball to be won. McGuinness getting a fist in the road. But a chance here. They can work it on the outside. They couldn't quite get it to Henry, but he goes back in, bounced accommodatingly for him. Then he's called for a throw. There could have been an advantage there, but none forthcoming. Ratcliffe, raking ball wide is a good one. Might open things up as Tilly charges into space. Drives them inside forward 50, looking for Siggins. But again, Godomski was there. He's doing the job this quarter. It was a difficult one for Siggins to mark on that occasion, but dominating quarter number 2. He's really fought back in that matchup. That's Godomski. And some big one-on-ones. Siggins will do the ruck work against Ashland here. Want it down. Gordon swoops onto the football and looks to dart away with pace. He charges around the outer wing, Gordon. Trying to reel him in with Sutton. Got the kick away towards the forward 50. Williams trying to trap it, but just runs out of play. Gordon, just a real 100-metre play there with the burst and the kick.
So throw in, just on the arc of 50. 22, nearly 23 gone. 7-point lead going the way of the Bombers. Phillips get out of the ruck, the hand pass got cut off. Bealey with the tackle, ball up, will go around the grounds very shortly. Clarence in a dominating position against Glenorchy as it stands. Phillips, again, just went the big spike. We've seen that a lot today. Lovell trying to track this one down, but Blackburn stood in the road. Hooker, nifty little kick over the top in front of Rainbird, and we'll see a throw in. So, score out at Ninja Stadium. 83 plays 29. Glenorchy only 4 goals 5. And out at Pontville, 28 plays 44. North Hobart in the lead. So big matches for third position. Phillips cut off though from Clifford. Hand pass to a running man in Clifford. The two Clifford brothers combined, but Tilly just cut this one off in the centre of the ground. Hand pass misfired to Billy. Mopping it up was Williams. Slung around in the tackle from Brower. And another ball up.
Pressure has been good. The Tigers, they're hanging in there. 7 points adrift. Every chance of causing an upset here as Clifford, Harnwell forced it to the outside. Brower was there, so too was Williams. Forced forward by Clifford. Carter the target, protected the space. And just outpointed Williams. He had the size advantage, he protected the drop zone. And he reels it in, and he can cut the lead back to a solitary point here, Tyler Carter. And just hanging in there. They've absorbed a lot of pressure the last 10 or 15 minutes, only conceded one goal in that time. The lone goal of the quarter. Can Carter get his sides first? He can, and he lets Winter know all about it too. He says, how do you like that? And Tyler Carter cuts it back within a point. And it is very much a game in the balance here at Lauderdale Oval.
Yep, it's been a different looking day for him, Tyler Carter. You'd be used to him isolating. On occasions he has done that, but drifted into the ruck as well. He's been a really valuable player for them when they've looked on Kingborough. And we've got a ball game, 8-5 to 8-4. 1 point splits these two in the dying stages of this third term. They get one more goal. Kingborough before the three-quarter time siren or out of the middle. Lauderdale might just look likely. A nice kick from Ratcliffe, but dropping back in the hole nicely and hand passing it to Burgess. Lovell. Pinpoint accuracy was nearly there to Harnwell, but standing in the road was Andrew Phillips. Phillips further afield. Just dropping this one was Webber. Had to dance around a couple. Used Tilly with a hand pass into space. And now Ratcliffe. Hand pass retreating to Phillips, who just checked the kick a little bit and stood underneath it for Hooker. Or Belt Chambers rather. And then into the pocket finds Rainbird, who's already kicked one. Sizing up the options, he'll dance around Rainbird. This one's a big bomb from Rainbird on the cusp of three-quarter time. It hits the post and only a minus score, so out to 2 points now.
This is a good roost. Rainbird, his first goal carried comfortably. Oh, and hit the post a fair way up. Still just a minus score. That kick could be intercepted by McGuinness. It was always likely to be snaffled by him. Definitely to his advantage. See anything he likes immediately, so just sets it up into the forward pocket, and that is brought down by Rainbird. Strong contested mark. Having missed moments ago, he'll kick from slightly closer, although a tighter angle this time. Won't be a long quarter, so it can't be too long left, I wouldn't have thought. Just the 2 goals. Rainbird going to give his side an 8-point advantage heading towards the three-quarter time break. Comes it near side. Never looked likely. And 3 points to the Bombers lead.
Just across. Wasn't great. So now Will Clifford can bring this one in and maybe just tick some seconds down on the clock. Kick into the pocket was nearly Darcy, but Burgess was there. Just to handle the situation and handled it well. Dumps a high one down the line. Williams working his man underneath it, but Billy was the lone man with the mark. This one inside forward 50. It was intended for Siggins. Cut off though from Will Clifford. Brereton had a couple to beat. Taps it onto himself, Nifley. And now the boundary line beats everyone. They're appealing for out on the full. Umpire blindsided. And ball up just in front. A couple of cars here at Lauderdale. 3 points the margin. 28.5 gone. Phillips. And Chambers was coming through and Rainbird got upended. The hand pass did make its way out. And again, Phillips. Big tap down again. He's just fisted it out of there on so many occasions. Burgess and Rainbird. Again, they'll be held up for another stoppage. What a stoppage is this quarter? As Phillips comes into the hands of Brower. He does well just to get the hand pass and release it, but it's cut off. Ratcliffe had two to beat. Hand pass was good to Marriott. It's run down from Watts. A couple of cries of ball as Woodward is there, and that'll be the siren. 3 points the margin here at Lauderdale. Sam Siggins was barely sided that quarter. Godomski easily winning that battle that term. We've got a ball game on our hands. Andrew Cooling.
Well, the game certainly shifted that quarter. Just one goal apiece. It was fairly stodgy at times. It wasn't free-flowing football. The Tigers did a good job just getting bodies back, disrupting the rhythm of the Bombers, who weren't quite as sharp by foot. Their forward entries weren't as dangerous. They weren't able to give Siggins the looks he got in the previous quarter. And when they did, Godomski did really well. Won a few good one-on-ones, but the service to him certainly wasn't as good as quarter number 2. And look, it turned into an ugly arm wrestle of a game, but that'll suit the Tigers just fine. They managed to get that goal from Carter, hanging in there. 3 points to the margin. It is anyone's game as we head towards the final quarter. It's been a gripping contest. I think the Tigers came in as pretty big underdogs based on what we've seen so far this season. But they've taken it right up to the Bombers. They've got a sniff. They're going to be doing all they can. We'll see if the Bombers can just make the most of their possession and time in forward half. They probably had the edge in that area again that quarter, but just couldn't translate to the scoreboard, though.
Absolutely. It's 3 points to margin here at Lauderdale. We thought it might have been a little bit more than that. We know no better than to who is winning this one. Stick around. A big final quarter coming up here in the SFL Premier League. Round 11. We'll be back very, very shortly for the last quarter.
It's like, oh, God.
So 3 points the margin here at Lauderdale as we wait for the patrons to get off the ground. The part about community football is you see all ages go for a kick. There's a couple of older people who in their prime probably were pretty good. And good to see the next generation come through as well. So 3 points it is. It's a big, big last quarter if you're the Kingborough Tigers who are looking to get up to third. Of course, North Hobart and Glenorchy standing in the road of that, but the result out in your stadium will have to research, but there might be an opportunity. As we go into the middle now for this last quarter, Carter and Phillips. Phillips again spiking it forward as he has done all day. Fletcher Hooker and Gordon going at it. The two Bulls have been really influential for their sides. Brower with a scrubby kick forward only as far as Phillips. He had a real head length over the top of his man, and that's holding the football. Will Clifford with the free kick.
Clifford stabs it into the corridor, just showed too much of it to Hooker though. Burgess under pressure from behind. He's gone surely. Just wasn't quite aware. Bearing down behind him was Dolliver, who dished it off to Tilly inside forward 50, almost took her. Siggins emerges with it, skies it, just got underneath it, and it's offline. Probably the simplest chance he's had all afternoon, Siggins.
Hot start.
He couldn't quite take advantage. 4-point ball game. Still a sharp chance. He's just kind of been dobbing everything today. You almost expect he would just go slot that one through. Not today. A couple of holding the ball calls. The pressure and intensity is there. Early in this quarter, Bell Chambers from the side. Ball spills out. Umpire's whistle says over the shoulder. And a free kick will go. Leo Brzezinskak.
The harder kick he gets, Siggins, the easier it gets. More like Travis Cloak. So Lovell, slip that one in there as we go to Clifford. The man in game 150 today.
Wasn't expecting a Travis Cloak reference.
To Stevenson. A little bit of fun here on the live stream. Stevenson just missing Brower. Brereton coming through and Hooker upending him. He was going nowhere. Brereton will see a ball up. So Brezinkak in there with Phillips. Sutton winning this one. Hand pass was misfired, or it was fired, but put him in a lot of pressure. Sam Tilley, Brower, and Harnell working in song with that tackle. Another ball up towards the 50 for the Tigers. Phillips, fresh air. Rainbird came through with a heavy collision on Gordon. Holding free kick going the way of Clifford. This one drilled into the pocket, just over the head of Ashland. They're building nicely, the Tigers, but again, the numbers favouring Lauderdale. And spinning around in the tackle was Tilley, or rather Suki, and we'll see a ball up.
The Tigers. The Corral inside, forward 50 early in the final term. Phillips takes it out of the ruck contest. He's immediately wrapped up. Gordon was just waiting for him to do that. He locked it in there. Listen, Brzezinski again. Phillips stripped of it, goes in at ground level. Sweeps the handball out the back in the direction of Blackburn. He's having his jumper pulled, so the umpire will give him the free kick at half back. Might clear some of the congestion here at Blackburn. He's got Sutton in space. Chip it over the top to him. Tilley. A bursting run. Stripe for Strivers in Brower shutting that down, so instead we'll just retreat backwards. Blackburn serving from McGuinness. Trying to avoid kicking to a contest here. They might have to eventually though. The Tigers doing a good job manning up. They continue to just chip it round, and Tilley now takes it on centre wing. Patience shown here from the Bombers. Tilley now will kick long to a contest. By Brereton. Locked in by Dolliver. Blackburn battling away at ground level, trying to bust through was Harnwell, but he's going nowhere. Locked in there by Dolliver. Stoppage on the pain of 50. And on a nice edge here. Siggins doing the ruckwork. Tried to take it out of the contest. Brzezinski just locked him up. Handball over the top to Rainbird with a high up and under inside the forward 50. Hooker almost drilled it in. Blackburn out. A chance for Shaw. Off balance, but he got his kick away, and marking on the last line is Belchambers, I think, who's stuck forward again. Who sneaks around the corner. He's got 2 goals. And the Bombers kick the all-important first goal of the final term.
What is he doing down there? Brilliant. He's obviously very valuable down there. Belchambers sneaking forward again. And the first goal of the quarter, as you said, Drewy. He's kicked 2 really important goals, hasn't he? As you mentioned. I mean, not the likeliest of goal kickers, but when he gets down there, he rarely stuffs up an opportunity. And just drifts him out to 10 points now. So a really, really big goal to start this 4th term off, Drewy.
It's been a good move. Pushing Belchambers to get him forward of the ball. 2 goals in a game like this. And that leads 10 points, proving decisive.
Couple of captain's goals for Phil Belchambers. Carter and Phillips in the ruck. It's been a decisive win from Phillips, but Carter was battled on. Harnwell again breaking through the tackle. Carter just got mauled. It bobbles out now to Rainbird. Pressing forward now the Bombers. Centering ball nicely to Dolliver.
Strong hands there.
He's really good in the marking contest, is Dolliver. And he looks like he's going to go for it here. He's the deepest forward down there on the goal line. Gonomsky manning him up, so he has no option to go but to go for goal, I should say. Dolliver to get it out to 16 and to make it difficult for the Tigers early on in this 4th quarter. Gives it a fair old roost. Just across the face. Booming kicks, these guys from Lauderdale, aren't they, Drewy? That's one of their biggest strengths, their kicking power.
Yeah, they've been carrying the journey from outside 50 all afternoon. No real win to speak of either, as Bealey just worked his man underneath the football. Scooped out the back to Bealey now. Up and under kick towards the half-forward line. Anyway, Blackburn brought down Brewer, but he got the handball away in time. Ratcliffe interjects ahead of Lovell. and did really well to keep it in. Turns inside sharply, sets it up in the Siggins direction, almost blocked it, got taken down without it though, and he's going to get a free kick. And Siggins can go back and try and kick his 6th.
A bit stiff. Hasn't kicked one since the second quarter.
Forward to this end. Quarter number 2. Looking for his 6th. Bit happening off the football at the moment. Fakar inside the forward 50. Got a feeling out there. Siggins, he's kicking. Has been perfect from set shots so far today. Going to continue that on here. Umpire's whistle has sounded to give him 50. But in the end just says, nah, just have the 6 points. All clear. Go Sam Siggins. So he has 6. And the Bombers just with a bit of breathing room here at the start of the final quarter.
Trent Baumler not happy at all, as you'd expect. Hanging down in the box. Yeah, missed what sort of happened. I mean, the 50 didn't really matter in the end, but disappointing for the Tigers, to say the least. So it is out now to 17 points. Yeah, looking pretty good now. Lauderdale. Real discipline from Tigers, costing them. Back into the centre now. Centre field. Phillips. Arnold. Good beneath the knees, but instantly set upon by Fletcher Hooker. Ball up. It's been good today, Fletcher Hooker. As we, again, go in. Phillips just bangs it out of there. He's done that all day, is Andrew Phillips. Brower linking up with Burgess. Just got hindered with as he went to kick it. Out now to Joey Brower, still hugging the boundary line, couldn't reel it in. Blackburn came in support, dancing around was Burgess. Went the old hand pass to himself there, and boundary line bet everyone. So, it's a free kick to Lauderdale, interesting. As Sutton drills a long one inside forward 50. Siggins emerges from behind. Running through was Dolliver. Nifty little tap on to Siggins, who Gadomski did really well to get him in the tackle. He was nearly out there, Sam Siggins, and again, a bit happening off the ball.
There's a goal-saving tackle from Gadomski there. Pure strength. Siggins has tried to bust through him as he has a couple of times, but Gadomski up to the task. Siggins will ruck against Burgess once the bodies are extricated from each other there. Got a feeling out there in this one. Siggins goes out of the ruck. Rove by Burgess. Kicks a low grubber. The snap from Dolliver is right through the middle. And the Bombers are putting the pedal to the metal in the final term here. They've kicked the opening 3 goals and they lead this one by 23 points. Looking to slam the door shut here on the Tigers. They've exploded out of the blocks in the opening 10 minutes. And it's just feeling like the Bombers' class is starting to rise here, Bo.
Yep, Jack Dolliver, first of the game for him. Unlikely that he only gets 1. He's usually a pretty hot favourite to get a couple, but again, just the class of Lauderdale proving a little bit too strong. We said it was a little bit hard to sustain the brand that Kingborough are playing for all 4 quarters with that run and dash. So might just catch up with them now. As we go back again, Phillips could have had the opportunity to just slap it out of there, but went with a nifty tap down. Carter, the unlikely guy to get the clearance, and now sliding through was McGuinness with a nice intercept mark. Centre half back. Just dance stepped around Kane. Now to Phillips. Good ball movement from Lauderdale. Phillips with a booming one in the Sam Siggins direction. Griggs came from the side. Blackburn with a fly. Spun around in the tackle. Lucky that Griggs was there for the fist from behind. But it's not out of the danger zone yet. Siggins in the ruck now. Tapped on, but cleared from the Tigers. Only as far though as Fletcher Hooker. Sizing up some options. Centres it to Sam Siggins, who on the lead was nearly silver service. Stevenson. And now Burgess hugging the boundary line. Chip little kick forward. As they go forward. But McGuinness intercepting it and sizing up the options. This one with a low one from full forward or to full forward. Siggins was upended and clearing the area. Was Bealey with a fist forward, dancing around one. Another ball towards the square. Siggins just missing him, and Griggs will see this one over.
Siggins couldn't quite believe he dropped that mark. He just stood there disbelieving that he spilt the beans on that one. Would have had a seventh, not to be. As they look to slam the door shut here, the Bombers. On the Tigers, taking control of this contest. Back into play. One down by Brzezinskiak, but Sutton got his kick away. It's a high up and under to the pocket. Godomski tracking it, but it drifts out of bounds on the full. Rocky Godomski looks up into the setting sun. Assesses his options. It wasn't a very good kick. Invites all sorts of pressure. Trying to get there is Dolliver. They hold him up. In the sense that maybe the Tigers erase his run. Well, they out of petrol tickets here. It's been a good fight from them, but Bombers looking the goods here in the final term at the moment. They'll try and repel here. Skewed off the side of the boot. It's going to be a high one towards the 50. Blackburn comes in, takes a strong mark. And he'll go back with his typical and unique run-up.
At the airport.
He loves the long running. Very considered approach. Unique approach from Stixie Blackburn. He's a goal kicker. Making a 29-point lead and make it very hard indeed. In the 15th minute of the quarter. Stixie Blackburn. Kick from just inside 50. Gives it a good ride. Looks pretty good. It is good. It's a 29-point lead for the Bombers. They're stamping their authority on this football game in the final term. With a game to be won, they've stepped up and got what looks to be a match-winning break at 29 points.
Yeah, again, just the experience, Drewy. Blackburn hasn't had a whole lot of impact all day, but doesn't really matter when you have people like him in your side. He can get you at any time. So Blackburn getting his first, and 29 points it is. Heater on in the car next to us, I think. A bit cold. As we go back into the middle now. Game nearly all but done. It wasn't already, so free kick has been called. Clifford in game 150, disappointing. They can't get up for him. He's been brilliant, a premiership player. Carter in the direction of him. This was good from behind. Nifty little check side kick in front of Blackburn. Oliver was working for it. Clifford hasn't stopped trying all day. Hugging the boundary line was Henry. And now to Clifford. Brower right towards the teeth of goal. Lovell, or rather Watts, was trying to sneak out the back there. Just spills out in time for Livingston to get a kick away. And it still is in motion. Marriott tapping it onto himself and eventually escorts it outside for a throw in. So it was a good three-quarter performance from Kingborough, Drewy. Just running their race a little bit slower this fourth term. It's disappointing for them, but a lot of learnings to come out of it.
Yeah, the ladder leaders and premiership favourites have just flexed their muscle a little here in the final term. They've been challenged, but they've had the answers and the quality to deal with what has been thrown at them. Sweeping handball from Phillips might open things up as they're out the back here. The handball to Treasure, and his hands and knees worked it back. Belcho's not going to kick a third, is he? He sets it high to the square. Siggins, sprawling hands and knees, tries to get back out, just threw it out in the end. The Tigers defence holds on, but only just, and they'll look to charge back the other way now. Set up towards the wing. It's a good, strong mark taken there. Presenting up nicely. Ashland, who doesn't have anything immediately to go to. Playing the kick now, tries to get around Winter and does so. High ball towards the forward 50. Bell Chambers drifting back at the other end now, takes the relieving mark.
Bell Chambers. Corridor kick to McGuinness. Centre field. He'll go further down the line to an awaiting Hooker. Hooker had Griggs to beat. Did it well. Hand pass to Sutton. Now to Fletcher Hooker from outside 50. In a big one-on-one is Rainbird. Used his body well but couldn't quite get it on third attempt. Burgess kicks, bobbles out to Siggins. Tied along the boundary line. This would be some sort of goal. Nearly Sam Siggins. He's just been everywhere this last term as they clear a kick out to Lovell, who has gone a little bit quieter in this fourth term, I reckon, Drewy. So, tightrope the boundary. The Tigers out towards Carter. Ball to ground and then socket it forward, but no one really wanting to go near it. As Winter and Ashland battling a one-on-one. Winter tackled immediately. Ball up.
Phillips again, emphatically out of the ruck contest. He's had the height advantage and they don't get any shorter, as they say, and he has just dominated in there, and his influence has grown with every quarter. He has, I love a stat of metres gained from Phillips' hit-outs today. It would be an extraordinary number. He has just swiped it out of there and got territory frequently. Brzezinskak's battled hard, but there's only so much you can do against such a dominant player with such a profound height advantage. Treasure wheels off. High ball, Siggins in a one-on-one. No one out the back of this. It's a wide-open goal square.
Siggins, go for it. Go for it.
Well, immediately kind of just went, I'm going to have a shot. And then thought, actually, I'm outside 50. I probably should at least feign that I'm going to have a look. But I think he always wanted to have a shot here, Siggins. And why not? He's been carrying the journey from 55 all day. He's kicked a six-pack. This for number 7.
Surely we get the two arms up. He goes the one arm with the celebration. Get the two up, Siggo. He's definitely earned it.
So Siggins for number 7. Trying to extend it to a 36-point lead. He kicks from 55 and Sammy Siggins has got 7. It was never in doubt. He has run rampant at Lauderdale Oval today, Sam Siggins. He's been unstoppable. The competition's premier big man whacks through another one from 55.
Yep, he just tousled and turned with Godomsky, who found himself in a really bad position. So 36 it is. Just drifted out, Drew. It was 3 points at three-quarter time. That's a 33-point turnaround for the Bombers. So
yeah, 5 goals to none. They've dominated this final term.
Absolutely, they've flexed their muscles well and truly have the Dale. And there's still time for a couple more if they're good enough. Siggins, Hooker on the move. Hartnell hasn't stopped trying all day, but he'll get wrapped up instantly. So, stoppage-heavy game today. Siggins again, Lovell. The normal suspects for either side. Lovell from outside 50, drills a dart inside. But Suki laying back on this one. Hooker, Ratcliffe, Williams, and now McGuinness. Hugging the boundary line to Campbell Hooker. McGuinness got the 1-2 receive, and now to Shaw. Shaw sizes up the options. It's a pretty good one. And it's off to Sutton. That was too easy, Andrew Cooling.
Good foot skills and hard running from Sutton just to sneak out the back here from the wing. Just charge forward to give him the extra option. They found him out the back, but their foot skills let themselves down a little bit in the first 3 quarters. They've been a bit sharper in the final term. That was some good ball movement there from the Bombers.
So Reece Sutton looking to get in on the act. Looking for their 14th of the afternoon. He really should be slotting this Reece Sutton. Makes no mistake, you get a pretty good view of it. Really nicely done. The muscles have been flexed here at Lauderdale well and truly. 6 goal to none term this quarter. It's dominant, to say the least, from the Dale.
Yeah, they've found their best football when they needed it. They were challenged here. They knew they were in a battle with the Tigers, who really threw some punches at them through the first 3 quarters, hung in there, but they just haven't been able to go with the Bombers as they've gone up a gear here in the final term. And pretty emphatic looking scoreline now, 94-52. Just tuning in, you're probably like, yeah, that seems about right. Pretty comfortable win for the Bombers. They certainly were challenged, but quite the response in this final term, and feels like the will of the Tigers has been broken a bit here. Phillips works it out to Sutton. Hooker takes it in stride. Quick release was good to Shaw. Shaw retreating backwards to McGuinness. Got in a little trouble, but had time to recover it. And players slipping over everywhere. Harnwell the latest. It was a good game, McGuinness, and he floats this one towards Rainbird. Spills out the back there, queuing up for another one here. And charging into an open goal is Hooker. He says, thank you very much. And the Bombers can raise the bat as that brings up the century. 15-10-100. It's a 48-point lead. It's now a 7-0-0 final quarter.
It is, yep. The scoreboard won't do justice of how good this game actually was up until 3/4 time, obviously with the goal differential of how many have been kicked, but it genuinely was a really good game for 3 quarters, and Lauderdale, as you'd expect, didn't start the game off well at all in that first term, but they worked their way back into it, and Kingborough just a little bit too inexperienced to sort of go with them. The young side they're fielding today is Phillips, rips it out of the ruck, but he's kicked smother. That one's going to hurt Gordon. Hooker danced around one, but danced into some Bailey Gordon pressure. Umpire didn't see it as holding the ball. Ashland now to McGuinness, who intercepts that hand pass, and at the bottom of the pack is Archie Watts. Another ball up, out of side. Phillips tapped down into the path of Sutton. Harnwell manhandles him in the tackle. Another ball up, of course. Week off after this. They can set themselves up for a really big last couple of weeks as Woodward from half back showing a little bit. Siggins nearly with a 1-2 grab. Got up end as he went to get rid of it. The hand pass spilt out to Brereton, and now Griggs. He got it away just in the nick of time. Rainbird fisted it out in front of himself, intending to get it, but standing in the road with Livingston. Bealey was good. Nice little kick inside. Again, Siggins will come out the back. He gets it, and he just gets it across the face of goal. And it'll be out of bounds for a throw-in. Yeah, week off next week for a lot of these guys. Of course, Siggins might be one of them, you would have thought, as they take on New South Wales ACT. A lot of these guys will have a well-deserved rest, Drury.
Yeah, fair to say Sam Siggins will be lining up in that one for Tasmania, and just a warning shot to New South Wales ahead of next week. His performance here today, he's been back to his very, very best as he continues to dominate the season 2025. Tasmania for a bit of redemption after that loss to Queensland. Playing group, and stung by that loss with Latrobe. There'll be a bit of redemption on the cards, and indeed last time they played New South Wales, so big game at North Hobart next week.
2 big goal kickers if Josh Bruce does play. He's in the squad.
There's some handy former AFL talent in that New South Wales squad. Probably a stronger squad than last year's, it looks like. So it'll be a good day of football at North Hobart. Looking forward to it. This one's locked up forward.
And hopefully they've trained together a little bit this year, the New South Wales ACT team.
Well, still got the job done last year. It was a shock result, really. Tasmanians felt they should have won that one, but yeah, redemption definitely on the cards. A big double header at North Hobart. It's a disjointed period of the SFL season. This one with all the rep games, and then got into the final straight towards finals through the end of July, August, September, and the whips will well and truly be cracking. And I think we know Lauderdale will enter that period very much as the team to beat and the red hot premiership favourites. They've shown just why in this final term today. There's Treasure has the ball, probably too far out to score here. Treasure. Here's Siggins. go instead into the pocket. Spoiled away. Shaw laying a strong tackle there. Locking it in.
26, nearly 27 gone. They got the century up, 15-10, 8-4. Haven't scored a point. He scored a Kingborough. They've been put on the back foot as Harnwell spirals this one into the centre. Beerley and Stevenson go at it. The ball up. Pretty much perfect conditions today. Of course, a little bit chilly, but not a lot of wind in sight. Ground looks pretty good. Again, Phillips takes a lot of mileage with that one. We do need to start on that because he has sent it further than I reckon a couple of these blokes have kicked it. Sutton had an adventurous hand pass out. Clifford, Jordan, run from Lovell. Chopped off though from Beerley. Did well to regather. It's a high one. Surely not. Siggins appears from the side. Nearly reeling this one in with Sam Siggins. Blackburn emerges from the pack and holding the football, nearly Sam Siggins.
Oh, hands on his head. He was on for the handball. Stixie just a little hungry.
They're good mates. They're ripping into him, I can see go as Ashland goes further afield to the game on 50 man in. Clifford's kick was pinpoint down to Stevenson, who only marked it, but George was hot on his tail. That all falls to Webber. Still Webber. Stevenson. Lovell. Working in the phone booth in that little passage of play, but Clifford eventually comes away with it. Brower, Lovell, now to the runner Stevenson. Didn't sit for him initially. Regathered, chips it across the face of goal, tied in the pocket, nearly. The mark taken from the Tigers. It was nearly from Brower. We'll see another kick in, another minor score. First of the quarter for the Tigers.
Nice work from Sam Tilley there to get back and spoil it over the line. Saves the goal there. The Tigers' first score of the final term. 47 points the margin. In fact, stuff in the end. Three quarters very much challenged were the Bombers. They've had quality away here in the final term though, as good sides do. Working along the outer wing to Shaw. Dying embers of this one. Shaw stabbing it short. Happy just to chip it round here. Swing this one out. Too long left. Treats to Beerley. Suki darts back inside and drives a kick into the corridor. Let's kick that one. And Marriott. Marriott heads wide. Handball just behind Williams. Turn it over. Henry over Ratcliffe. Dolliver. Now Williams. They work it by hand. Treasure. Squaring ball, was looking for Bill Chambers, but just chopped off. Tigers switch it wide. Code. Mark in the back pocket. Code drives it short, looking for Stevenson, had to stretch. Weber uses Phillips. Phillips sweeps the handball over the top to Hooker. Hooker sets sail from 50. It's drifting across the face. Siggins on the goal line. Umpire's whistle says over the shoulder. And another goal coming up here. I think it was Stixie Blackburn who was infringed with, and he'll go back from point blank range. They've doubled the Kingborough score when he slots this one through and just puts it over the fence. Needlessly there from Stixie. It makes it 16-10 at 106. A 53-point lead over the Tigers, 8-5-53. Might be the final score of this one, but it's been an emphatic final term from the Bombers, mate.
Not sure what Carter's doing. He just ran in the middle of the ground and started getting it still to Winter. Disappointing last term, Drew, from the Tigers, it must be said. They were in the game up until three-quarter time. And of course it's a young group, but Trent Bulmer will not be happy with that at all, you would have thought. Obviously we can't speak for him, but you wouldn't be happy with that at all. a big 53-point turnaround here at the Tilford tip. As Phillips again clearing this one. Blackburn was hungry for more in front of Brereton, who picks it up and just slaps it on the boot in front of the interchange benches. It was for no one in particular. And muscles have been flexed here at Lauderdale. 53 points the margin. It was 3 at three-quarter time, going the way of Lauderdale, and now it's 53. Big game from Sam Siggins. He led the charge at the start of it, and he led it at the finish line. Drewy, disappointing from the Tigers in that last quarter, but Lauderdale showed why they are the team to beat this year, and it was a pretty comfortable win in the end.
Yeah, 8 goals, 3-1 behind in the final term. It was dominant when it counted. They were tested. They had all the answers. They blew them away in the final term. They just had too much quality for the Tigers. They could hang their heads high for the first 3 quarters. They battled manfully. They took it up. So the highly fancy Bombers pushed them, but they simply couldn't go the distance, and the Bombers just a bit too much quality across the park. Sam Siggins, the best on ground with a 7-goal haul. A dominant performance from him as the Bombers continue to set themselves as the team to beat in 2025. Pretty emphatic stuff from them. But certainly for 3 quarters, an enjoyable contest there, but
It was, but of course, Trimborn will not be happy with that 53-point turnaround. Disappointing to say the least, but Sam Siggins again, how do you stop him? Godomsky did well that third term, but he was always going to come out and lead the charge from the front, rather, as I get my words right, in that last quarter. 53 points it was. It was a good day down here at Lauderdale, near perfect conditions. It was a good start to it, but only Lauderdale can hold their heads high. Of course, like Clifton in game 150. Disappointing for the Tigers. 53 points it was. My name's Bo Downham, joined by Andrew Cooling. We'll sign off for now. We've got the women's game up next. So 53 points going the way of the Bombers. Bye for now.